To the Point with Michael Williams.
Good morning, everyone. The future of local journalism. My guest this morning, Joel Engelhardt, who spent more than 40 years on the reporting front lines, including 28 years at the Palm Beach Post. And Joel, welcome. It's great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
You did a brief stint here, doing some producing for us some time ago, I should add, and it was always a pleasure.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for your time. Tell us a little bit. You've started a new venture since you left the Post a couple of years ago. You're the co-founder of something called Stet News. So what is it? What's the name mean? What's your focus and who you're serving?
Well, Stet News is a nonprofit weekly newsletter. We're putting out stories and a newsletter where we're trying to fill a niche in local or even hyper-local community news reporting that is falling through the cracks.
We have your graphic up of a little bit of what you're doing there.
In this difficult time for newspapers across the country.
And what is the target audience as we come out back to you on camera, Joel? What is the target audience there?
Well, we're aiming for an audience in northern Palm Beach County, basically from West Palm to Jupiter. We are aiming to show that there is a demand. And since we're nonprofit, we have to raise money. And if we raise money, we can expand and we can have more reporters to do the work that we're trying to do in each of these communities along the coast here.
And among those communities, North County, but just name those in our big
Palm Beach
five-county area
Gardens,
that we're talking
Jupiter,
about.
Riviera Beach, West Palm Beach, Lake Park, maybe even down to Lake Worth Beach.
You co-founded it 2023, correct me if I'm wrong, 2023. What kind of feedback is it getting? Do you think you can make it a going concern? How many reporters do you have working for you? Or is it just a few right now since it's a startup?
There are 4 founders.
Yeah.
As of, we went nonprofit at the beginning of this year, and the 4 of us are behind Stet News, and 2 of us are working full-time as reporters on it, and the other 2 are sort of behind the scenes. And then we have stringers, people who have left the business, and we even have an FAU intern.
And you cover that's fantastic, as we bring up the next generation of journalists. Talk about a little bit more about the gamut of news you cover. We put the graphic up, but you're covering everything, and as the name implies, of super local interest and importance is key to add.
Yes, and also things that are just of local interest that you wouldn't have found out about otherwise. But the stories that are grabbing all the attention, like the Jonathan Dickinson Park that you guys have done such a great job on, and all the media has jumped on it, we don't feel like we have to do that story unless we had something to add to it.
So what would be a story that you said you're kind of gravitating to, your menu?
A proposal for a development that nobody knows about. You know, there's so many high-rises going on here along the coast that you can't keep up. And no matter how well the Palm Beach Post or Channel 5 might cover this proposal and that proposal, there are still some that nobody knows about, and we're trying to get it out there.
You're trying to fill what many argue in our industry, in our craft, is a crying need and a growing need, given the disappearance of great local newspapers, or at least the fact that many are diminished, I should say. Many are still out there doing hard work, like your former employer, the Palm Beach Post. But the need is there, and it's growing. I read a recent article that discussed, in fact, it was a few years old before you came in. I just popped something up, and this is a few years old out of the University of North Carolina. The expanding news desert, talking about the loss of local news, what it means for communities, not having that voice that's pushing for answers. And I know that drove you a lot. To co-found Stet News. And before you talk a little more about that, Stet, that's an old newspaper term, stands for what?
Stet stands for Let It Stand.
Okay.
It's a copy editing term you would use to say that scratch out, ignore it, let it stand.
Why were you so driven to do this? You've talked about it, but talk more about it, because I think, and our mutual friend Brian Crowley, we talk about it all the time, about how absolutely important it is to have watchdogs there covering issues of vital local importance.
There has been such shrinkage in the industry. You know, the whole model for revenue between like 2004 and 2010 just dried up. And what could the owners of newspapers do other than to cut costs? So they reduced their reporting staffs. So where you used to have 100 people in the newsroom, in 2008 we had 100 people who took buyouts from the newsroom, leaving 200 perhaps. Now you're down to 30 or 35 people in the newsroom alone, in a big city
in your
newspaper.
old Post newsroom, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure broadcast TV has seen shrinkage as well.
Absolutely, and in fact, you read my mind. I mean, the pressures on the news craft, the news business, not limited to newspapers, to be sure. Television's feeling the same kind of pressures. And that's what you're trying to respond to.
So where we have the skills and we can try to fill in some of the void, we can't keep up. It's impossible for this small number of reporters in this community of 1.5 million people to cover it all the way it used to be covered. And people see, they're very critical, but it's not because the newspaper still isn't trying and doesn't still have really good people working. It's because there's no revenue to pay the bill.
Talk about what you're seeing in a year and a half with Stet News. Are you attracting and keeping a good readership? Are you feeling optimistic it can be a going concern?
We feel, yes, that there are people who are very hungry for what we're trying to do, and they are willing to, we offer it for free. You can subscribe at stetnews.org, free, but you can also pay us if you wish, and it's a nonprofit, so it would be a tax deductible. However, we can't live alone on subscriptions. Newspapers never have.
Yep.
And so there has to be other revenue coming in from grants and major donors.
And I want to say to our audience, this is a gentleman, Joel Engelhardt. Let me read you a little bit of background. Award-winning newspaper reporter and editor, Palm Beach Gardens now. Spent more than 40 years in the business, 28 at the Palm Beach Post. Covered everything, countywide growth, the 2000 election, so controversial, the birth of City Place in West Palm Beach. You oversaw probes as an editor of the opioid scourge, private prisons, police-involved shootings, and more, on and on and on. So the depth of passion and experience you bring to this. So when somebody like you is ringing the bell and saying that if we lose that, we've lost something fundamental to our community discussion, talk more about that.
Well, I think it's really important because people are covering the national election like, there's a million sources of information about the national elections, but what is there locally about what is driving these people to run for office, and when they're in office, how they behave? There's huge gaps in every community. There are 39 different municipalities in Palm Beach County, and every one of them has unique stories that aren't being told.
Do you believe Stet News can be, and it's not the only such effort going on, but do you believe it can help be a pioneer in doing more of that in our community? Is that your hope as well, that you'll be a signal for others to say, let's do this, let's be hyper-local, not just in the area you're covering, but in others? What is your vibe? What is your feel for that?
We're a different model.
Yeah.
And we're not driven by corporate need for profits. But I don't know if you're familiar with the Documenters Project that goes on in Cleveland and Chicago, right, where they're training citizens to cover their own community and write. And that's something that this community probably can evolve toward.
And sometimes people say, there's been such criticism of news in the last many years, and I find it awfully ironic. We hear so many cries on the left, the right, about fake news, and yet a lot of the people who scream the loudest are reading fake news every day that's not vetted, because it's not a newsroom where you have healthy debates about what you're covering, why it's covering, the accountability. Great editors like you said, wait a minute, before we publish that story, we've got to check it out. So all the accountability that used to be there to make sure the news was authentic and real and truthful is often gone, and yet people are reading that but decrying fake news. I find it one of the great ironies of our time.
Journalism is hard work,
yeah,
and it costs a lot to do it right. And social media is against us now. When we post our stories, the algorithms aren't giving us as much of a play, so it's harder for us to get our word to you.
Stetnews.org is an ongoing effort to fight that trend, to inform people about issues of local importance that affect their pocketbook, their lives, stories that are of interest to them. In our remaining minute and a half or two, you've done such a wonderful job of framing it. I know we can only scratch the surface, but to people saying, why does it matter? Kind of your closing remarks on why what you're doing absolutely must matter if we're going to be a well-informed community and hold those in power to account, and also tell people stories that help embolden, enliven, and illuminate the lives of our community.
People need to communicate. They need to understand what's going on in their community in order to be a part of it, to avoid mistakes, to avoid, getting taxed for something that they would oppose. They need to know that the tax is being proposed. And it's just so easy to look away when you have 4/5 of the electorate not voting in a primary, of the registered voters. I mean, people, if we can give it to them and they can get it easily, I think they would care.
Stetnews.org, serving the North Palm Beach County area, and I see in you a career newsman who's still having a lot of fun and carrying the torch for a cause that's been near and dear to you since your early days as a newspaperman.
It's an honor and a privilege.
StetNews.org. I hope you'll check it out. It's important to the conversation in our community. That and other such efforts like it, not only here, but across South Florida, the state, and the nation. Joel Engelhardt, thank you so much, co-founder of Stet News.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
Appreciate you being here. Up next, is Florida in play for Democrats? What about Amendments 3 and 4? A polling and research expert weighs in.